Don't get me wrong, a lot of managers suck. They really do. Let's be honest about this. The biggest thing, I think, is that they are lacking in the discipline to do proper interpersonal communication. It takes energy to be polite to people. It takes energy to make people feel happy to deal with you. It also takes discipline for you to employ that stuff whenever you deal with people. It's hard to do that when you're stressed out, when you're upset about something and you need an answer now and there's no time for pleasantries. You know what I mean? But yet, what I'm going to refer as pleasantries, that's just treating people in a decent way. Don't bark at them. Don't order them around like a slave. You know what I mean? You have to treat them like a human being. That takes energy, that takes skill, that takes discipline to be able to remember to do it, right? Especially when the pressure's on and when you're under a lot of stress, it's not easy to do. But so many managers, A, don't realize they should even be trying to do that, and B, a lot of other managers don't even have the skills to be able to treat people properly in the first place, you know? And that's a result of what happens when you promote people into a management role without them having any training on how to manage people. I'm not saying that, you know, everyone with an MBA is awesome, because they're not. There's a lot of people with MBAs that are idiots. You know, I'll be the first to admit that I have an MBA, but I mean, you know, I'd like to think I'm not an idiot. There's a lot of people that have MBAs and they're terrible. They're terrible to people to work for, and they're not very good at what they do. And part of that is they just don't have the interpersonal skills component of what you should have if you're a manager, especially if you're managing people. You can maybe get away with that in things like project management, you know, where you manage projects, not people, or assets, but not people. You know, sometimes you can get away with that. But if you're like a people manager and you don't understand how to deal with people and how to treat them properly, you got a lot to learn, and you're going to be bad. You're going to drive people away, and you're not going to get good results. So yeah, I would agree with that. Just beware, Puffcross, because a lot of people who have never been managers, it's very easy for them to point the finger and say, you know, all the problems here, they're all because of you, right? You know, when you don't understand what they do and what pressure they're under and what constraints they're under, it's easy to blame, you know, your immediate boss or whatever for everything under the sun that you don't like about the role or the company or whatever. Sometimes they're just as oppressed as you are. And I know what I'm talking about here. They're made the figurehead for, like, you know, they're the go-to person for if anything's wrong, but yet their hands can sometimes be tied in ways that you don't see. Look at the turnover for some of those jobs. We can see that, you know, it's some of those jobs are very stressful, and it's like a no-win situation. I've been in those before.